Hello everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the C Unraveled series. Today you are going to learn that how can we create pyramids using C language. As a note, they aren't going to look like this at all. But I can ensure that it would look like this one. So let's dive into it. First I'll begin with creating a file named star dot not star dot c like star pyramid dot c, and we'll begin with obviously include stdio int main return 0. First we'll declare the variables which are int I space. You wouldn't have seen space in the previous videos because space wasn't required at that time, but you would have seen that there was something named rows because we want to get the value from a user that how many rows do they need for the pyramid. Now we'll first proceed to get some value for the rows. Enter the number of rows. Now we'll do a scanf to get the value so that we can use that value in our pyramid. So ampersand rows. Now we will begin with a loop, which is obviously for loop, not for loop. Now we have to replace 0 with 1, and here we'll put equal to sign, and we need to put here rows, and here we need to have an prefix increment and also k equal to 0. We are just giving and ensuring it in advance that the value of k remains at 0 and doesn't change, or the answer will change. Now we have to again create a for loop, and that for loop will have space equal to 1, not 10, then space less than equal to rows, and again prefix increment. And now as we have named the variable space, so what else can we expect it to hold other than space? So we have given some space using the printf. You would be wondering why there are two spaces in it. Like if you cannot see it, there are two spaces. And the reason behind it would just appear itself in a minute or two. So we'll also give a while loop, and here k is not equal to, exclamation mark is seen as not, 2 multiplied by I minus 1. Now here we have to give printf, as we are creating a star one, so star and space. As you can see here, I have given a space between them, and the simple reason behind it is we need to put some space in between the stars or they would not look good. The pyramid wouldn't look as good as this one if we don't give space. So now we'll also give some increment, which would be prefix increment to our k value, and now printf to take it to the next line, escape sequence of next line. Now when we save it and we go to the terminal, gcc star underscore pyramid dot c dot slash a dot exe, It will take a little bit of time because we have given two spaces, and for some reason this C compiler has some problem with two spaces. Whenever I run it with printing two spaces altogether, then it will just lag a lot. But I'll later on show you that why two spaces were necessary. Just let it appear once. Also, my Discord server link has now been added to the channel about. So now we'll write 5, enter. Wait, what's the problem? There seems to be a problem. Let me check. First of all, I'll put some space between this asterisk and I. Like, always ensure there is some space between such expressions because multiple times they would just lead up to problems which you'll not even realize. Most probably there is some problem with the space. Okay, I forgot to put minus I here. Now it will work alright. Although now it will lag again. The irony is that I can't even put a value in advance. So it is like a little bit of time waste only. So I was saying that the Discord server link has been added to the channel description. So you can join it whenever you want and you can ask your questions rather easily than asking in comments. Okay. Enter. And this is how the pyramid looks like. Now I'll show you why two spaces were required. So I'll just remove one space from here, not much. As you can see, what a disfigured pyramid is this. It is neither a pyramid nor a proper triangle as per its looks. Although you can make it a little bit better than this one by simply removing the space after the star. But then it doesn't look like a pyramid. It looks like a Christmas tree. That's the closest description I can give of this figure. I'm thinking of creating a system using which I can just create a proper Christmas tree with a stump and 3 protruding lines out of it. And it would just look exactly like a Christmas tree. Maybe it would be a Christmas special. Let's see. So our star pyramid is done. Now it's turn for the number. So I'll write num pyramid.c. To just save your time, I'll just copy and paste the code. Also, after num pyramid, I'll show you another type of num pyramid which is known as Pascal triangle. I won't be coding it, like I won't be straight away showing the code because it's quite similar to the num pyramid one. So I'll just rather show you. Now, first of all, we have to make more variables. Okay, so the first variable we would be creating is count equal to 0. And the second one is also, like, I'll name it count1 equal to 0. Okay, the rows has to remain the same, like you need not change that code. That is exactly what we want. Here we would be adding one thing which is plus plus count. So we are simply incrementing the value of count. Now here we would again see some changes, and those are some drastic changes because we would be using an if else statement. Maybe you have never heard of if else statement. It is a conditional statement where we are telling, like, we give computer two or more conditions and we give them different paths, that if this condition is satisfied, then the computer has to implement this thing, etc. You would be seeing it how it is working a little bit. You can see it properly in programs like the calculator. So now what we would be doing is count less than equal to rows minus 1. So now we'll write printf %d space comma I plus k. And now again increment to the count, and now we will write the else statement. So the else is simply count 1 increment, and then printf %d comma I plus k minus 2 multiply count 1 and semicolon. The increment to the k will remain the same because obviously we need some increment for our k also. Now count 1 is equal to count is equal to k is equal to 0. And now when we save and run it, you'll see what it looks like. So instead of star, I'll just change it to num, enter. Now I'll again give the values 5. And you can see this is how it looks like. It's just the space that's the problem. Or you can simply remove the space from here. Like the original form is with 2 spaces only, but once I want to show you how it looks like in the rough form. So this is how it looks like in the rough form, and now let's show in the proper one. So save it. Now it will again take a little bit or maybe a lot of time. Let's see. Also, this Sunday I would be releasing the video on search algorithms. There would be 2, maybe it is a little bit lengthy video, like around 30 minutes. But it will be interesting. I'll make sure that you love it. And if you want to learn about it, make sure to watch the previous episode, which was on arrays, because you can't understand those algorithms without learning about arrays. This is how it looks like in a proper form. Okay, now let me introduce you to the Pascal triangle, which is the last thing I'm going to show. Wait, where is it? Okay, here it is. This is the code. Like, I'll also put the code in comments. I'll still explain it. Like, these are the standards of C programming language. I created an extra variable which is j. I removed those count and count 1. And I also created another variable which I named coefficient, or you can say cof. So again, the rows one, it remains the same, and even the both for loops remain the same. After then, we have to make another for loop inside the first I for loop, where we have to give almost the same conditions, but this time for j. Also note, you would notice that we are using suffix increment operator instead of prefix operator. Make sure to follow this thing, because it will create extreme changes in your program if you are using prefix instead of suffix or vice versa. So then we have to put an if else statement where this, if you read the statement, it means j should be equal to 0, or like these two vertical lines mean or I should be equal to 0. Then the coefficient should be equal to 1. We are telling it that if the value of j is 0 or value of I is 0, then make the coefficient 1. Else coefficient is equal to coefficient multiply by I minus j plus 1 divided by j. And then make sure to put percentage 4d, comma coefficient. Simply we are printing the coefficient. Now let me show you how it looks like. So Pascal triangle dot c, and it will again take a little bit of time because there are two spaces in the Pascal triangle again. Like, it isn't mandatory to put two spaces, as I showed you before, that you can do it with one space also, but you can't do it with zero space, else it will become a half triangle. I would really research on this, that why this thing happens, that the double spaces work like this. Or let me check it side by side. Okay, it ran. So 5, and this is what Pascal triangle looks like. Let me run it again and search side by side. Why does C compiler lag when I run a program with two spaces in a printf? Okay, nothing similar. Okay, we'll leave it. So I'll give the value 10 this time. And this is what it looks like. It's simply like all ones. If you see like this, it is not a table. Like, it's the table of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then it's a table, not properly a table. Like, it forms a kind of series. 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. Like, maybe you have heard of it, but it works this way. 1, and we give another ones. Then 1 plus 1 is 2. So we print 2 in between, and the sides remain 1. Again, now 2 plus 1 is 3. Then 3 plus 1 is 4. This series continues like this. And it goes till infinity because no one knows where it will end. So that's it for today's video. Hope to see you in the next one. Till then, bye.